Greetings, dear brothers and sisters in Christ. My name is Pastor Chongor Kelemen, and I welcome you to a new edition of Ora et Labora, a new series here on the BTL network, where we sit down with entrepreneurs, businessmen from Urk, the Netherlands, to talk with them about how they pray and how they work. As you can probably see, this time we are not guests at a conference room of a big business or company here in Urk, but actually we are present here in one of the Reformed churches of Urk, and our guest this time is Tim Brouwer, and I would like to ask you to introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners.
My name is Tim Brouwer. I am the CEO and co-owner of Visscher Seafood. We're a company that's specialized in salmon production, and we produce that in 3 countries. So we're in Scotland, Norway, and of course in the Netherlands. And within our companies we produce over 300 million meals of salmon per year, and it basically is shipped all over the world. So we go from Tokyo to Chicago and everything in between. So many people all over the world eat our salmon, and we're of course super proud of that.
Yeah, right. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are and where you're from? And
yeah, of course. So I grew up here in Urk, like almost everybody here in the seafood industry. And before I went into the business side of fish, I was a fisherman first. So I was a fisherman for 4 years. And then I started working within Visscher, within sales, and did my studies part-time. And yeah, started in sales, and now it took me to this position within the company.
Mm-hmm. And when exactly did your company start? Were you there at the beginning, or is it a company that is older than yourself?
No, it started long before me. So I started as before I became one of the owners, I was an employee, and the company was founded, I think, a century before I got in. So 100 years ago. The Brouwer family, which has the same last name like me, but we're related. But
so the different branch, perhaps.
Yeah, which is actually quite common in Urk, but maybe too much to explain for today. The Brouwer family started the business over a century ago, and they started with fishing. So, and maybe it's nice to say that the name of the boat it all started with was called Ora et Labora.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah.
So that's the boat of those who started your company.
Yeah, I think we're now working with the 4th generation, and the 5th has just came in. So they are working. So I think we have 3 5th generations working with us within our company. So I think the captain of that specific boat must have been the grandfather's grandfather of the current generation.
Right. That's really interesting, and our viewers probably know by now that Urk is traditionally a fishing village. And do you have an estimate about how many percent? What percentage of the industry here in Urk has some kind of relation to fishing or?
Oh, yeah, so we have great companies, of course, outside of the seafood industry, but because it's such a, I would say, high volume with pretty expensive products, in terms of revenue, I think it's easily 80 to 90%.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes, and your company is also a chunk of that percentage.
Yeah. So we're a salmon company, but I think it's fair to say that our company would never be here without the long tradition we have here locally with seafood and fishery, because of course there's no salmon farming or catch in Urk.
Right.
But it's something that we were able to build on the existing supply chain, I would say, that was already in place. Mm-hmm. So we're really thankful for our, I would say, ancestors, because of whom we are able to do what we do.
Right. And well, if we go back just 100 years into the past, the harbor of Urk would be filled with small-scale fishing boats with which you can fish about 300-400 kilograms of fish per time. And from what I've heard, the big fishing ships that we have now are able to carry about, what, 30, 40 tons of fish, something like that.
Yeah. And they're not even the biggest. So there are much bigger ships out there who can catch a tremendous amount of fish. So you can totally not compare the, I would say, industry with how it was 100 years ago, but I think the mentality is pretty much the same still.
Yeah, that's nice to come back to what you said earlier about the name of that small fishing boat, Ora et Labora, and I think that mentality is still to be felt not only within the fisherman community, but also in the businesses that are linked to the fishing industry. And Ora et Labora means, of course, to pray and to work. So faith and work and labor are intertwined here in Urk. And well, probably the viewers already know that every church here in Urk, somewhere in the building has what?
Yeah.
On the inside. Well, tell us a bit
a wooden
about
fishing boat.
Yes, a wooden fishing boat, right. So somewhere there is a wooden fishing boat, either from the ceiling or on the walls. And well, what do you think that symbolizes? How do you interpret that?
Yeah, I think both faith and fishery are very closely linked. Not only in Urk, but because of business, we travel all over the world, and in other seafood communities, I would say you see similar things. And I think it has many to do with being a fisherman is, of course, a super dangerous profession. Not as much anymore as how it used to be, but still, people die doing this profession, which is something that other industries cannot even understand. So I think to be out there knowing that it's a dangerous profession makes you think about like eternity and things like that. So I think that's the reason for it. But also the business itself. So you never know what you will catch, and there's a lot of dependency in that. So I think that's also part of the reason why faith and fishery are linked. And
that is something that you learn by doing, to be dependent on God, but that is also something that is goes from generation to generation. So the older generations give to the newer ones, well, they teach them to be dependent on God and to start their work with prayer and to end their work with prayer and to start with prayer when they go out of the harbor and come back.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think so when you start on a fishing boat, the first task you're supposed to do is be the chef. So you have to cook for everybody. And in the kitchen of the boat that I was fishing at, there was this poem on the wall that I saw it each and every day. And it's in Dutch, but I asked somebody to translate it for me. So maybe it's nice if I can read that.
Yeah, right. Sure.
It says, "Though the fisherman time and again cast his nets into the deep domain, all his labor will be in vain if God's blessing he can't attain."
Right. So all his labor will be in vain if God's blessing he can't attain, and that is actually something that we cannot attain by ourselves, but that we receive by his good grace. And this is not only true for fishermen who fare the seas, but it probably also is true for your own work and your own industry and your own company. And would you mind sharing with us and showing us, even better than telling us, how your company works? Would you care to show us a few clips?
Yeah, of course.
At Visscher Seafood, we take pride in our origin. The North Atlantic Ocean is in our DNA. Our ancestors have been living from it for millennia, thanks to our world-renowned marine stewardship. We love our all-natural, delicious, and sustainable seafood and want to share it with the world, now and in the future. Good sportsmanship is the foundation of our culture. We are a winning team because we are supportive and respectful toward one another. We have a positive attitude and we play a fair game. Our goal is to perform at the highest level every single day. We enjoy adventure and developing new things, exploring new markets, inventing new concepts, and developing ourselves. All Visscher colleagues are given the opportunity to develop themselves through education, training, and experience. We have a strong belief in the future of our seafood as the most healthy and sustainable source of protein for the world. Therefore, our strategy is to be invested in the three key elements of the seafood value chain: aquaculture, processing, and international sales and marketing. All our locations are located in coastal communities with a strong fishing tradition: Scotland, Norway, and the Netherlands. Our mission is to build these coastal communities by bringing our pure North Atlantic seafood to the world. This is our story. These are the colors of our culture, our product, our roots. This is Visscher Seafood.
So, Tim, the last thing we spoke about before we watched these videos was that all of the labor is in vain if God's blessing you can't attain. And, well, it is our hope that from all the work that we've seen in the videos, it is also guided and, well, crowned with God's blessing. And with these thoughts, we conclude this part of our episode together. And next time, we will talk about the ora part of ora et labora, which means to pray and how you live your faith in your everyday life. So, thanks for being here with us, and for all our viewers and listeners, I hope to see you next time. God bless.